Welcome back to another episode of Shard on Scene podcast. I got my main man, Ant Moore in the building. What up, Ant? How you doing, man?
Rashawn, what's going on, bro?
Hey, I'm putting my government out there like
Nah,
that.
well, they don't even know your middle name. I know your middle name, bro. It's all good. My boy
you doing,
Rod in the building. I'm good, man.
Blessings, brother. Blessings to you always, man. It's good to see you.
Blessings, always.
Today we have a special, extra special guest, a man that's known as world renowned. Great person, good brother. My man, Herb Gray. How you doing, sir?
Man, doing well.
Thanks for coming, brother.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Always a pleasure.
It's a privilege and a privilege
Yes,
to be here.
definitely. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. We're blessed to have you in our presence today. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just enjoying, this time, man, of life, man, just to be alive and healthy and making things work. So I just take it all in like that some days, man.
Yes.
Don't complain.
Definitely. So for the people out there, which are very few that don't know Herb, tell me a little bit about yourself if you don't mind. We'll start off. Where are you from originally?
Originally from Durham, North Carolina. I grew up in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Spent the summers in Durham. And, so I'm a North Carolina guy, North Carolina A&T. And then from there, man, I just took off, moved to Atlanta for a while, and eventually one day moved back to Charlotte.
How's that like going from being, in North Carolina your whole life and then making that transition to a city like Atlanta?
I think it was just all that, man. I worked for a company called H.J. Russell Construction, which is still one of the biggest black-owned businesses in the nation. And, coming up out of North Carolina, it was all great, man. But, when you hit Atlanta, man, you got to see, so many black people just doing their thing business-wise, career-wise, government, politics, and all that kind of stuff. And then you got to see another set of life, man, because, during that time, athletes were, owning nightclubs, and you had, that whole booming music scene and all that kind of stuff. So it was really, man, you took a guy like myself that was kind of in the shell a little bit, it just threw you out there, man. You just dive in, so it's all good.
That's what's up.
That's important. I was gonna ask, kind of to piggyback off what Ra asked you just about, especially Durham, North Carolina, back then. Like you said, it wasn't the same opportunities as like Atlanta or DC, New York. Like what was your inspiration to getting into construction? Like as your process, in younger days when you're going,
Right.
basically building that foundation.
So I got out of school, man. It was just really, and to be honest with you, it was an opportunity to take a job, man. I hear a lot of people today, man, they say, this ain't really my major, this ain't really my thing, man. Shit, I was just like, what they paying in 2 weeks? And, it was in Atlanta. So I had to pack up. My good friend, Reverend Thomas, he's a minister now, helped me up, got me a good job. And but it was just the ability. And, sometimes you take what you can and you try to learn from there, right? Try to understand what the people do in this world. It's education, for me.
That's what's up. Yeah. So you're in Atlanta. And you're working in construction. How did you get to Charlotte? How did you get back to Charlotte?
Yeah.
How did you make that?
Yeah. So I moved back eventually to back home. My family moved back to Durham, and my father wasn't doing too well. He ended up passing, but I ended up going back home to kind of take care of some things, and ended up with a job at General Motors, and that transferred me to Charlotte.
Okay.
So from there, I hustled with that job, and it was just a good move. But by that time, Charlotte was sort of moving, right? It was like, it wasn't Atlanta, but it was still moving. It was a big city, a lot of cool things to do.
What year was that?
Yeah, and so that was probably about early 2000s, man.
Okay, yeah.
And so, Hornets was rocking. A lot of things was going good, right? Yeah. And so I felt good about Charlotte and the evolution and being part of what was changing and happening here.
Yeah.
That's when the Hornets were over there on Tyvola, right?
Yeah, the Hive.
Yeah, the Hive.
I know about the Hive over there by Nana's. Nana's Soul Food.
Little known fact, man. I used to work during the day. And I had a commercial cleaning business at night.
Okay.
I'd go out, man, and this is before you could do Google and shit like that. I'd go out and write down all these businesses, and then I'd call them, on my lunch hour the next day. And so one of the first big accounts I got, some people helped me out, was with the Hornets. So I would clean the arena with like 10 or 12 guys, you know, who used to be his projects off Sigler Avenue. You just pick people up in his van and go out there and clean that, man. And, you know, Copper Grill and Housing 30. A lot of people don't know that, man. I didn't mop more floors and clean more windows and toilets, man. Anybody you can think of. Hustle, man. You know what I'm saying?
Get to it.
I did that for a long time.
That's what's up. I remember one time when I was in college, my dean, William Lupton, he told me a story about how he was in school. No, he was in the Navy, and they had him working on a ship or whatever.
Right.
And so he didn't, where he worked at, there was torpedoes down there. He was right next to the torpedoes. Yeah. So he was like, so he went to his captain. He's like, how do I get away from these torpedoes? Because if a torpedo hits the ship, it blows up. So she's like, you have to go up there, you have to go to school, get your degree, So you say that's how you started going to school, because he wanted to get away from the torpedoes.
That's a good
incentive to go get your education.
Hold on to a leg or arm or something like that.
So you wasn't mopping no more floor. You trying to get away from that.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, I did that. Enough of that. Right? Enough of that. Right?
That's cool though, because that's why I asked. Because obviously, you know, I've known you know me since I was a kid, and you know, it's that's why I'm glad you're here, because you know, we see the success now. We see, you know, family, you know, everything, business moving the right way. And I always think about this, like, how important could you tell people how important the importance of family in regards to your businesses, you know, philanthropy, everything that you do and everything that you're known for.
Right.
Just the importance of family, like, get a little insight on that.
Well, I even go back before I met, you know, my wife, man. I had, you know, when I started my business, man, my uncle gave me some seed money. My aunt worked for my business. I own a mental health care companies now. My aunt worked for me when she retired, and my mother worked for me, and my cousin worked for me. You know what I'm trying to say? And so, you know, I had a little foundation of people that were around me that really, you know, helped, you know, bought into whatever my vision was, and I was able to hire them, and we could all work together. And then, of course, later on, I got married, and the difference there is, you know, being married, you know, kind of, you know, people, you know, social media, they see the highs, man, but I done had some lows that just, you know, they wipe me away mentally, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
But you got somebody you can talk to and, you know, encourage you, you know, with the right mate to get back out there and keep trying and keep grinding.
Stay on that.
Very
man.
important.
That's,
Very
my bad. I'm sorry.
No, you
powerful.
good, bro.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah. It's very important to have that support.
Yeah.
You know, wherever you go through. That's awesome. About your family, tell us. I know you're married to.
Felicia Gray.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I met Felicia. Man, it's crazy thing. I've been cleaning bills at the Hornets.
Yeah.
I saw her. She was with her sorority, AKA they had a service project. I'm out there one of the big garbage bins moving around. And then, you know, I also saw her at this little event not long after somebody party, and then we connected, right? So again, that's a story, man, because some people have seen somebody put some garbage thing, they're like, shit, I can't fuck with that brother. But, you know what I'm trying to say? So, but, you know, that's kind of how the whole thing got moving, right? You know, and so I met her there, and then, you know, we dated for a good little while, and we got married, and it took, you had some ups and downs trying to have a child, and that took a while, and then finally we got this child that we love, man, named Bailey. She's 10. I just did basketball with her the other day. She was on a team out there, man. It was me and Felicia, was all boys, man. We were like, oh, God, I hope this going to go well. You know what I'm saying? You always think about your daughter. And she was out there, man, hitting them shots, hitting them baskets, man. We screaming, man, going crazy. A lot of people see me, I'm laid back, man. I went crazy, man.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that. I ain't never seen you. I ain't never seen you like hyped up like that.
No, people don't really see that, but I was crazy out there, man. You know, if you don't want to see me, man, check my daughter out. When she's about to score, I'm gonna be that dad running across the court.
Yeah, she the game winner. You gonna lose.
Security running at me.
That's
man.
her. That's the great answer.
Yeah, security running me down and stuff, man. But that's that. But that's that. So it's all good. So it's the three of us, man, and it's kind of how we run as a unit.
That's what's up. With everything that you got going on, how do you juggle all that, like family life, businesses? How do you keep that, you know?
Man, great questions. You know, one of those things that, you know, sometimes I always, you know, now I'm getting, you know, a little on up to that age, I always like juggle and say, well, I mean, I always analyze and say, yeah, am I juggling too much? Right? I own a mental health care company called Life Enhancement Services. We're in Washington, D.C., Houston, and Dallas. So just flying in and out of them cities all the time. So it's grind, right? You know, all of the 3 perfect cities, right? You know, but still you gotta, you know, run through the airport, and then you got a daughter trying to check to see how homework is going on that. Then you got a wife checking on that, and then you got all these other projects you're working on, right? And so, you know, one of the goals I say in 2025 is that, you know, I may need to get a priority list. I might have to cut back on certain things. And so we kind of do that now. You know, we used to go out and hit like 2 or 3 events a night. You know, and I was like, no, I can't do that. And so, because you're not going to be, you know, ready to go the next day.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So your next day going to be off, right?
It's going to be bad.
And so I've been there a lot where my next day was off. And so I just had to, you know, pull back.
Got you. Yeah, because you did have the golf tournament. I remember it was a huge.
Yeah, I was talking about like a 4 or 5 day week thing, and then that took months to plan that. And then you had about 60 days off for it, and then you had to start planning for a holiday party and stuff. And what I realized is, you know, it was all good, and I was putting on for a lot of people, but not really taking time for myself.
That's
I had
important.
to kind of redo it.
All right. So like you obviously have had your hands in a lot of things over the years, and even now, like, but you know, I understand, you know, scaling it back. I had to learn that playing and then retiring and then adjusting to like just being Anthony, not Amo, or you know, basketball Amo. You know, so it's like I just wanted to get your opinion on like when you're transitioning from one venture to another one. Like, what's your mindset on that? Because I struggled with that for like after basketball, and I was just throwing stuff at the wall. You know what I'm saying? And I got a grasp on it now better, but you know, a lot of guys don't. You can't really just plan for when you start playing, because most guys don't get to walk out on their own like LeBron or Kobe or something like. Most guys, you don't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? Or you see the writing on the wall, and then you start trying to put stuff in place. And I did. But it was still hard because I felt like I was stretching myself, like you said, like you had to scale back on certain things. So like, just for like, I guess the younger you are, myself and other people that's younger that's in that transition stage from one venture to the next, what's your mentality got to be like in that thing?
Yeah, you know, and I guess too, some of it depends on what you were in, because we work sometimes with athletes in Washington in particular, and I've been able to talk to, and they've had to just be so tunnel vision on, you know, making sure their craft was perfect, right? And then they got all these people around them, and then they got fans, they got so the fault, you know, when they come up out of that arena, it's not that easy walking out of that arena, right? Because it's what you've been doing, right? And then now everybody's been around you. And if you say I came out of this job to try this business, well, you might have just, you know, you might have been doing 40 hours, and, you know, clocking in and you get out, right? So that might be a little different transition, but it's still scary, because either way in life, you're gonna have to go out there in what I call no man's land, right? You know,
that's a fact.
You know, either way, right? And so
I needed to hear that.
Yeah. So for me, you know, I've tried things, man, and you know, some things worked, and some businesses did, and some are colossal. And you know, you panic, right? I'm just human. You just panic, right? You know, like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And, you know, am I losing the edge or whatever, right? Yeah. So sometimes you question stuff, but then I always try to get back, you know, praying about it and looking at it and the faith I have. And so, well, you know, sometimes some things just didn't work, and I had to get out there to try it.
Right.
Or otherwise, I'd have been killing my mind. Like, could I have tried it?
What
right?
happened?
You're right. And then, you know, then I tried it. You know, if it didn't, you know, do those things. I used to say, man, I was just telling you, you're talking about, I always wanted a nightclub. So, man, I should open a club. I said, nah, man, I ain't trying to count no money 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, man. I've been falling asleep right there, you know, at the counting table, right? You know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, so you got to sometimes know your limitations too, right? And something you just can't necessarily say, I'm going to try, because that's may not even be in your wheelhouse.
Yep.
See, that's great. I mean, and I needed to hear that along with a lot of my peers, because taking that chance, like you said, some stuff's worked, some stuff I'm like, damn, I hate I did that. But if I had tried it, I wouldn't have got the knowledge on what to do better the next time.
That's right.
You can't waste time. No pun intended. It ain't no gray area with that.
Right.
You gotta go, or you gotta just chill.
Right.
You know, and that's the balance. Because, like I said, people see your success, they know your story, and you know that's something that a lot of, like, I'm 39, so like I'm still in that transition stage. Damn. Wow. You?
That was
I'm gonna
crazy.
tell people your middle name in a minute, man.
There you go, man. There you go.
He could give me the what's his name, the Kevin Hart. He could went do that on camera. He do that all the time. But yeah, he got me back because I was on him a few episodes ago. But yeah, that's important. So like I'm still in that stage until I really find something that is like, all right, I could do this. I can't play basketball forever.
Right.
So it's about making that transition to something that you love, that's lucrative, that can carry you into that 401k.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Definitely.
That's right.
Yeah, that was dope. I needed to hear that though. A lot of people need to hear that.
So with you, Herb, being in Charlotte, I remember. My first gray holiday party my first gray getting after dark event I went to was I think it was like in 2015, 2014 maybe.
Right.
And you've been in Charlotte for a long time. You've been in North Carolina for a long time. This is your wheelhouse. This is what you know.
Right.
How do you look at Charlotte as being as back then versus now? Like the changes, the what has changed from your eyes looking at it?
Right. So when we first started doing this, we wanted to do things that we thought, in particular, I did. And I would look at these magazines, and I see primarily white folks, dressed up, looking good, and talking that whatever they was talking, and and this and that, right? And so I said, man, we should do these events where people, you're not telling you how to dress, not telling you how to whatever, but you be in cool venues, and then we get all those pictures together and put it out, and so it really kind of grew based on the fact that we wanted to showcase that black people could.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? That black could. I mean, and so in doing it, that thing just kind of took off. And we were the only ones really doing it, right? But now I see youngins, man, they do, all kind of events, networking, they do women's brunches, they do other things, right? The all black party, this and that, and that and the other. And so me and my wife, we always glad to see. A lot of them would give us credit. So they watched us, and then they moved on. A lot of them are much younger than us, and so I'm so glad to see so many of us, doing those type of things.
Definitely.
And so if if I say I had a legacy or whatever, I'm always glad to be able to, make it work for other people.
That's what's up.
And I like that. People need to hear that because younger people, because y'all the godfathers, godmothers of that.
Right.
So, and a lot of OGs, some of them will, why they doing a black party? Why they dressing like that? Why is this? Why is that? But they need to hear that from you in a positive light.
Right.
Now I just thought about that. That's interesting because a lot of older promoters or event throwers and everything like that, I don't, man, I don't deal with no young people. I'm like, why not?
Right.
It started with you. Right. If you still want to be in an event, they need that now. They need to hear that. They need to be inspired. Right. I want to do an event now.
Yeah. So exactly. And so, a lot of times, man,
all white party.
We might not hang out all these parties, but we might just do a pass through, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Give them some love, man, because again, it ain't all about, I want other people to shine. I want other people, to step forward and to do what they think is all about, right? And so the difference between then and now, Charlotte does have more, things like that make things work.
Definitely does. And you've been doing it for a while, and you are definitely a pioneer of it.
Absolutely.
I want to definitely give you your flowers on that. And you're always available and always willing to help and give advice. And
always.
And it's different when people are looking at it. A lot of people don't look at it from a standpoint of passing on or giving that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way we are really going to succeed is if we keep building each other up. Excellent.
And I've been to one of his events, but I ain't want to leave.
You didn't want to leave?
I ain't want to leave the house. I was like, we guest room, man. I get
blanket and a couch.
All I need is a blanket. I don't even need no pillow. I'm going to get up and make breakfast, too. I get up and make breakfast.
Exactly. So you've been there with us.
And it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Time to go.
I don't know, man. Hey, I talked to OG, man. I'm good.
Yeah, we had a good time. We were sitting around talking, chopping it up.
I had a good
That's
time.
hilarious.
It's great.
So you mentioned earlier you are from you're in 3 different states right now. I see you in DC. I see you in Houston. I see you here. I know it's a lot on you. It has to be a lot going back and forth. What are you doing in DC? What are you doing in Houston? I see you moving.
Yeah.
A lot of frequent flyer miles.
Man, what? People in the airport know me, player. He come here ready, late again, lay out the way. But they had to open that door again, let me through. But I do mental health care service. So a lot of times people don't even know what I do. We provide mental health care services to kids, adults, and families, right? And called Life Enhancement Services. It's probably going on about 15, 16 years now. We work with people most in need, man. Most of our people, I guess, whatever people might call disenfranchised, underclassed, this and that, but they're just people to me, right? Who needed help, right? And they don't know the help is available. So a lot of our workers go out, similar to mentoring, they go meet these people at schools or the libraries or homeless shelters or court systems or wherever, try to diffuse those problems, right? And so we probably have about 250, almost 300 people work for my company.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great.
So, like I said, we're in Washington, Houston, and Dallas.
Nice.
It's cool. I'm gonna get with you on that.
There
We
you
got a
go.
mental health program with my foundation.
There you go. We would love to do it.
like
And
it.
we've been doing the whole mental health thing before it got, you people are really comfortable talking about it now, right?
Yeah.
We were doing it, man, when you had to talk to, black, brown people, man, they'd be like, man, ain't nothing wrong with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you grow up in a certain situation and, you see on TV, everybody else seems like they balling but you, which is not really true. And or you grow up in a situation where it's gun violence, regular violence, it's this and that, and drug abuse. So it's got to play on you.
Absolutely.
Right? And so we realized that, and so we are equipped, and I'm blessed to have a great people who work for me. They're equipped to go in and talk to those communities.
Social media too is like the number one thing
Yeah.
I see with mental health right now.
Yeah.
Because you already have life trauma.
Yeah.
So at some point in your life, you've had something that can linger if you don't handle it right away. And then you use social media, like you said, like I find myself looking at social media, like even though you know it's not really like that, you on there long enough, it starts seeping into your brain, like you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I gotta do something. Like, you know, when you really on the path God put you on, you walking in your own purpose.
That's right. That's right.
You know,
man, I was
it's
watching,
important.
man. Sometimes we get caught up. I wear a whole lot of design and stuff. But then I was watching Jay-Z at a game the other day, right?
Yeah.
And he had just a black hat, black jacket. You know what I'm trying to say? His mind had already gotten out of I needed, all this other stuff to make it who I am, right? And so, but I still, don't throw on my stuff. But what I try to say is,
I seen his ice.
Yeah,
I seen his ice.
Light
Don't let him fool you.
Light
He
stuff.
can fly. I seen his ice.
You know what I'm saying?
That was a light step. That was a light step.
But I said to say, with social media, kind of throw people off is that sometimes people, feel like everybody's balling, or I should be balling now. I'm 22, 21.
Yeah.
I should be buying out this and doing that. And not necessarily. It take a while, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm trying to say? It take a while. Even though I mentioned Jay, so you talking about somebody 50-something year old now, right? You get what I'm trying to say? So sometimes it take a while to get there.
Well, a lot of people don't realize too. It's like you make the clothes, you make the outfit because your presence is in it,
Right.
And a lot of times you could wear stuff. We know a lot of expensive stuff don't even really have no labels on it.
Right.
But it's the way you wear it, the way you present yourself in it. It gives the clothes the character that it is.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So people need to understand that. Another thing too is, look, when people go through mental health, we talked about earlier as far as like being in these inner city and going through different problems. I call it local PTSD because a lot of people like wherever you are from, whatever you've gone through in life is going to affect you.
Right.
'Cause some of your life experiences is who you are, and people don't even know that they need help or mental health. And a life changing event can put you in a situation where you thought you could be stronger than that and you weren't. And it needs to be intervention with that a lot of times.
That's right.
So definitely what you're doing is very, 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 very important, and it's needed. And like you said, especially with the Black and brown community, we think that we don't need it.
Right.
It's like it's like a big thing where it's like, oh my God, you need mental health or you need a psychiatrist or a psychologist, whatever. Yeah. And we don't never want to admit that. So
Yeah, and that's important, especially as black men and brown men and women, black men and women. I got 2 therapists. And it was at a time where you really don't do me like that. Trauma. Look, we just talked about it. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? No,
We're going to beat him up after this.
Yeah, man.
After this.
Hey, that's strike 2. I'm saying his middle name, Mama Love. I'm going to say it. You Googleable. I know you. Nah, but it is very important for like men to say that around other men. Like I don't mind. I used to be like kind of like, all right, I gotta go talk to the therapist. Got stuff going on. You playing. You know what I'm saying? It's traveling. It's life. It's kid. So it's a lot going on. And then I just started telling people like, for real, I'm like, yeah. And then it's like, man, it's just somebody to talk to outside of your circle.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you need that.
Yeah, so that's why I say sometimes your circle's got to be right, but then sometimes you got to get to somebody not in that circle, right?
Right.
Where you kind of free yourself up to say kind of what you want to say and not necessarily be in the judgment zone.
Right, because you don't really have to. It's not like your cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different levels of people. Like you said, yeah, Mrs. Gray and Mrs. Gray. So like that's important, especially at that time.
That's right.
So
That's right.
yeah, that's real.
So Herb, I notice sometimes that I see you wearing this purple color.
Yeah.
I don't know what's this? What's all that about? I don't know.
I've been blessed, man. Making South 5, went over to North Carolina A&T, and I'm still active with it, and with the fraternity. Now I look at it like, a network. When I hit, Houston, I run with a lot of Omegas who opened doors for me. But that's just been something that I'd say that's been an extension of who I am. That's a positive extension, right? And I feed off that energy.
Awesome.
And do it that way.
Awesome. I like that. It's a good answer. Cap out for signing building. But anyway,
Shout out.
So you mentioned earlier, you telling me you were starting to do a little art collecting.
That's right.
How'd you get into that? Well, tell me a little bit about that.
Man, it's crazy. I used to buy art, man, years ago, man. I go out here, and each other on Beresford Road, that's on Saturdays, man. Stuff got so sophisticated now you can't set up these little pop-ups. Little things like that now. But I used to buy stuff. And so, years I've done it. But then the last few years, I just got crazy serious in it, man. And so, we probably, we don't have the biggest collection. We got at least 100, 120 pieces of art that we're putting in on a website. So we're going to take a tour, my wife and I, around the nation on some of this stuff, right?
Oh, wow.
And some of it's just amazing pieces. But it's just one of those things that I really like, and mentally, art takes me away. So if I'm watching a painting or looking at a painting, I'm where that artist is, right?
Right.
Whether it's on a boat or I don't know, braiding somebody's hair, whatever's going on in the day, I'm there, right? So for a few minutes, it takes me away. So I walk down the halls of my company or whatever, and then I always say that black people got to have some great images out there, right? Because I went back to what I was telling about them parties and stuff like that, because sometimes images is, and so I create whoever I want the image to be in the art I bought.
Nice.
Right? And so I always make it something positive. And so we're going to go put it in museums, and we're going to put it in schools. We're going to do all those things and have those talks. And so 2025 is going to be our year to launch it.
Nice.
Right?
Okay.
And so, that's going to be a big launch, and we want to do it. And you've got, Swiss Beach and Alicia Keys, they got these big exhibits. A lot of people do now, right? And so, but as black people, it costs money to do things. We just now getting to the point where we can do some different things that we didn't used to be able to do.
That's awesome. This is different. It's different. I like that.
Very different, and that's cool.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
What kind of art specifically, or is it just anything that you look at as inspires you?
Yeah, so right now, and it's too many of them. Most of these artists are my friends. I ain't gonna give one of them a shout out. They're like, "Why you doing my name?"
So name 100 people.
Exactly. So I meet with people, right? So I meet these artists. Maybe I check them out on the internet, and again, I'm in 4 large cities. So at some point, one of them gonna be here anyway, right? So I might go meet with them and talk to him or her, and then I make it work. And so, but you'll see it. I don't want to spoil it, but it's always something that I think is a unique story, right? It's something. So now I'm buying stuff from people from Africa, man. So I'm not don't go to Africa, but I see it online. I talk to them, and then we inbox on IG, and then they give me their number, and we'll do like a WhatsApp, what's that, or something like that, and figure out how to talk, right? And then we'll do that, and then they'll send it to me and make it work. First 1 or 2 times, I sent my money over there. You got caught in shipping, man. I was like, look, boss, I'm going to catch this plane, come find you, and need my stuff. But no, it came through. And so I've learned now how to make it even outside the United States border, to create it. So that's what I say. But it's just, for me, and I can go on about it, for me, and the company I work with, again, I just told you, a lot of people walk through our doors, have been, and doing some traumatic things. So the art sometimes, that's the first time they see a black man black man, in a very nice image, or
Yeah.
a
Right.
black woman, doing something in a beautiful dress or something like that. So there's those images.
And definitely art imitates life.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it.
So we got so I want to pivot a little bit like I do before we start getting to the shenanigans.
Get into the shenanigans.
You have you have, I think if I'm not mistaken, you have about three big events you do a year, and I think you have more than that actually within the city of Charlotte, within the state lines. We got spring and fall colors. We do that together with Antoine Bryant and Felicia, and then you have this huge event that the city just shuts down for. I mean, if you can't walk in there if you ain't walking in there right.
Facts.
And it's coming up soon, and I wanted to highlight it because it's the mega event of the year. Can you elaborate on this? And you name it, you tell me what it's about, and you tell me how it started. Give me the origins of it and how it got so big to what it is right now.
So again, to your point, me, you, Antoine Brown, Felicia started something called spring colors and fall colors. We've done something during the summer. We move it around, but most of them have been at the Harvey B. Gantt Center, where it's a beautiful museum. And so, again, it just brings people together, right, in a certain way that we try to elevate the experience. The Great Holiday Party that we do is one of those things that Felicia and I started. It's our 13th year, and we try to raise money and awareness about an event, but also bring people together. So we have about 1,300 people. It's December 21st, www.thegreatholidayball.com. You can get some more information on it. This year we're working with an organization called Block Love Charlotte.
Okay.
And they feed people regularly in Charlotte. You can go to their IG page and check them out. They clothe them. They provide just a hug for them. They provide a blanket for them.
Wow.
And they provide, again, food and things like that. So we figure, hey, maybe we get behind this organization this year and raise some money for them. But, we don't want to make it all the way so serious, so we want to have the party thing. Right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
of course.
have, what we call some of the hottest DJs, hottest bands, and other entertainment going on. So to feel more this year, the GreatHolidayBall.com, and we hope everybody comes out.
Okay.
I'll be there.
There you go.
Yeah.
I went to the was that fall and spring color, the one at the Gantt?
Yeah,
That was a Gantt. Yeah, that was a Gantt.
It was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful people, networking. I met a lot of people at that one.
Yeah.
Really cool, business minded people
There you
who can
go,
support each other's companies.
Yep. And so we do it
good.
that way, and and we just try. We don't know how long we can keep going, but we try to go as long as people keep coming back, right? And so it works out well. And we do it just for the love, man, because it really ain't no monetary, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's the love of seeing people having a good time and somebody going there. Because it takes some courage to go out there and try something, right? And then to see, hopefully people, buy into it, right?
Yeah.
And so we've done that, and we just are pleased for it.
You've done an awesome job with it, man.
Shout out to the live band
Yeah.
too.
There you go.
Harvey Cummings.
they were
Harvey
cutting up.
Yeah.
They do their thing, man.
Yeah, they went.
They did it, man. I had to give him a shout out. He probably upped his price on me just to give him a shout out, man. Harvey's my man.
Where the coupons?
Yeah, there you go.
You up in everybody else's price, not yours.
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
Highest podcast in the city.
There you go.
The plug.
I remember one year, man, I wore this jacket, and Herb could attest to it because he took a picture of it.
Yeah.
And I had this jacket that I bought at Carolina Mall. And so it had like this faux fur around it. It looked so Harold Cognell saw me in there. He laughed, he hit his man. He's like, Rashawn, come here, man. He's like, what you got around your neck? Right. So I was like, you got me. It ain't real fur. I said, but the shoes cost $900 though.
Yeah, I made up for it.
Yeah, I made up for it. I was like,
for it,
but it was funny because I had went with Clay and Ursula. I pregame with them.
Right.
And Clint saw me in the elevator. He was like, "What you got on tonight, man?"
Right,
Like,
yeah.
But like that's the type of you got to show up and show out.
Yeah.
You
gotta
got
show. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And like, you know, I'm gonna tell you, dude, man, I say, man, if that's how you balling tonight, we're gonna do the picture with you tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's just they didn't do it, right?
Yeah.
And so I want everybody to feel comfortable with however they doing, you know, that's how we doing it right now, right? You know, and so that's how we rolling. And so I remember that we got you in them pictures. Yeah. And that fur was all around us, man. It was kind of shedding a little bit, you know. So I had to kind of blow it off, you know. And had to regroup, got on my glasses and everything, but it was all good. I love it, man. Yeah.
I was looking for you too. Because right before I left, but you know, by that time, man, I was like, man, he could be anywhere. There were so many people, man. I, was like, I know he had everybody coming up, but you know, I always see you first, and then I'm like, I don't see him no more.
Right.
But it's a great time, man.
You know, it's crazy, man. Being in these events, man, I'll be trying to talk to everybody, get swarmed. You know, you're always trying to talk to everybody because, again, just so glad to see everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
Saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in some years.
Yeah, I remember years ago from the Ghent, then it went to the Mint. The Mint one year, that was real nice too. And then and then the Fillmore. I mean, it's just been an awesome event, and the way you've opened it up with the cigars now and different things like it's just for everybody.
Right. And we blessed, man. Meanwhile, we got again, a Star Continental. I'm gonna leave somebody. We got some great people around us who help us plan and execute and market these things. So we thank them, man. And then you get these opportunities right here just to talk about it, you know.
Yes, they need to hear it, OG, for real, because they see you, but you almost got this mystical thing about but to know you and be around you, is different. So people could get more of a connection, especially inspiration.
It's kind of crazy because I think I met you here and there at first, and then I used to hang out with your childhood friends, Ken Elliott.
Yeah,
because Ken Elliott pledged me in Silver Spring, and met Don and Carlos and all of them. So I didn't know
Gotham City crew.
So I used to go to CLAA and I used to hang out with them.
Right.
And I didn't know that they grew up with her.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I used to hang out when it was in Charlotte. And that's a whole other story because that's why I started doing, I think, events with you because when CLAA, we started doing events together.
That's right.
Yep. But like I used to hang out with them at the Omni all the time. And they mentioned that they grew up with you back in Fayetteville. And so what I like, so my godfather's from Lumberton originally. Okay. So he raised me in Queens, New York. So I just always, something about, I know you probably go up there, I don't know if I love that area because when I go there, it always reminds me of, I always smell fresh wood burning in that area. I remember one time I was playing with Charlotte Hornets on they had a golf outing for season ticket holders, and I knew these guys, and they were talking, and I said, I'm from New York. And I said, where are you from? Because their accents. I said, you're either from Lumberton or Pembroke. And they said Pembroke.
Right. You can kind of tell that accent.
Yep. It's very distinct. It's very, very distinct. But there's a lot of good people out there. And Army base used to be Fort Bragg, and they changed. Now I think it's Fort Liberty now, right? Yeah.
One thing I find out, man, as I move around, man, big cities, man, people's just people no matter what, man. I sometimes I go to New York, I'm checking on art stuff. They just, they hustle and bustle, but they're just peoples, man,
Yeah.
And so being from a small town or going to a small town, things kind of slow down a lot, but, you still meet some great people who, you can get some wisdom and knowledge from them, and you vice versa, you can get them some wisdom and knowledge. And so, I don't, the more I look at life now, I could probably live in any city, be okay.
Would you, it's funny because like me being from the New York, I'd rather live in the South. I just like the space, the people, people saying hi to you. You being traveling as much as you have, would you prefer to have grown up in the city life, or would you rather just have the small town type? No,
I mean, my wife grew up in Danville, Virginia. I grew up in Fayetteville and Durham. I would say small towns it worked for us, right? Because I could thrive, and then I grew up as a single parent. My mother taught school, so it wasn't a whole lot of extra there. You know what I'm saying? So you could kind of live the way we live. Our home in D.C. is what they call right about U Street and 14th Street. So we right in the middle of stuff.
You right in the middle.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother type of living, right? It's kind of jumping all the time. But the good thing, you can just walk to whatever, right?
Yes, you
so
can.
I see the beauty and the value of that whole, whatever you can do. But as I, I also see that there are some of smaller advantages of city because you can kind of, if you have the ability, you can explore a lot of different things, on pretty regularly, right? And then you should probably meet a lot of different people,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
And so there are some slight advantages, but again, it's that whole cost thing, about living in them big cities, right?
That's why I moved down here.
Right.
It's crazy down there. But I understand that's real because we live in Waxhaw, me and my family, and it's so different than when I don't value the same stuff that I did in the city as much. But being down there more in retirement, I've seen a different. It's like a different Charlotte. Like you've seen all the eras. Like I just, I'm 1985. Like so, I've seen it grow, and a lot of that time I wasn't here a lot during the seasons. So like when I come home, it's like almost like a whole new city. Like every time.
Gotcha.
So like now I'm down there more. I'm like, damn, when they put that right there, or when was that company built? What is that company? Who owns that complex?
Yeah.
So it's like a lot more opportunities to network and get to know people.
I was telling somebody, man, way back in the day, Charlotte, man, had just a couple of little spots, man. That was, all kind of lounges and other things, popping up and happening. And so it's just beautiful to see it, right? To see the expansion and growth. Along with it gonna come traffic and all that kind of stuff issue. But at the same time, you can't stop something that people like to gravitate to, right? So you can't stop it because people sort of like coming. I forgot how many people moving every week. It was so crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
I was like, what? And so that's just what happened. Now you go all the way out, like you said, to Union County, or go all the way up to Huntersville, and a place like that. It was unheard of 15, 20 years ago, but now that's just another part of it, right? So so it's just expanding and making
like Fort Mill and Indian Land that's on the border. That's the South Carolina. It's done. Like the property value is just it's crazy. It's just so different when especially after the housing bubble, it was like so easy to get land and it was at a cheap price. And now it's like if you didn't get in now, it's like everything is so sky high. A lot of people are moving in because the major cities are expensive, like you're saying. So
look, like OG said, we're full, man. I be wanting to say we full because it's traffic out of control. But it is it's a good part of it, like you said. You get to meet it's like a melting pot more than ever in Charlotte. There's so many different cultures.
And I know, man.
We are full though.
Yeah.
Until we let y'all know, until further notice.
Just from all around, so they ain't gonna rush everybody. But I hate coming at that stretch of 77 with Top Vola.
Oh my God!
Man, I had to go to Costco. God bless.
She gonna clip that. Mama Love gonna clip that in that 77.
Well, you know a cheat code. Everybody supposed to get off on Arrowwood. Always get off on Arrowwood.
Yeah, they done figured that out though now.
They got you on that.
They got you on that.
Right.
See, I go back because I tell you can go to right or you can go left. I go left because I go up. I take Arrow Road all the way up to the city. I go by West Boulevard and go.
Yeah, you go that way. Yeah,
some people go the right way and then take it towards South Boulevard and go on that end. And it's a mess, man.
We just full. Just say that.
It's just full, man. It's full, player.
You know what I'm saying, OG?
And it's just full right now. So,
That's crazy.
We don't need no more.
No more. Shots fired.
Calm down. Let y'all know.
Shots fired.
Go to Columbia, Greensboro, Greenville. So we don't need you, right?
Yeah, Greensboro nice.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're gonna wrap this up soon. I wanted to get your let's get real quick now. I want to go on something else. What's your top 5 rappers, man? This is our cap session. I gotta hit it.
Man, there's so many rappers that I love, man. But I grew up in an era way back in the day, but I love Run DMC.
Run DMC.
That's crazy. I got
Hollis, Queens.
I got a plane to Run DMC because you hear people today, talk about this rapper that got swag, but they was really one of the realest that ever did it, right?
Pioneers.
They had on them black suits, man, them derbies and shit, man, and they welcomed them to Adidas, man. I mean, it took something during that time to say, "This is who I am," right? Because you weren't looking like nobody else, right? Damn, what's these people doing, right? And they just hit that. I mean, because their raps was straight, and but they made it work, man. And then I'm just I like music sometimes to turn up a place, man. So I say, I definitely would say that they was one of the ones. I'd say, Jay-Z, I'd say Drake, I'd say Rick Ross. My wife and I went to a rodeo in Houston, man. We got to see Jay-Z and Rick Ross both on the same stage.
Oh, wow.
And you know, and that was just crazy. So I always loved that, man. And then of course I always loved Biggie, man, because again you're talking about somebody that, you know, he represented not only was his music hot, but he represented somebody that, you know, say, well, I might not be a model looking type guy, but I got this something about me that says I belong in here, right? And everybody else gonna stop and recognize, right? So I always like people, you know, that say, well, in spite of whatever, you know I belong, right? You know what I'm trying to say? So it's kind of deep in to say this is the hottest song. I just know I belong, right?
Yeah.
And then they go from there as well.
Black and ugly as ever.
There
however,
you go,
stay
man.
Coogi down to the socks.
You see what I'm trying to say, man? So when you speak about that, but those are my, you know, five that I always got. I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of Red Rock because, you know, again, I like his music, and some of the stuff just be kind of comical, what he's saying, you know, and things of that nature, but it be serious because he talks about business and trying to get, and again, this one had to do with rapping, but trying to get franchise, and he got this car thing. You know, just people that's thinking outside of the box, but yet can still flip it and, you know, play some music to make you, you know, make you move and things like that.
Do it.
Y'all saw he mentioned a bunch of swag guys.
Yeah.
You know, because he get fly. I seen the suits and I done seen it. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes you got, man, I be out there, you know, I know my wife doesn't support me. I say, is anybody in this 2,000 people other than my wife gonna support what I got on today, man? But you know what I'm saying? But you know, sometimes you be out there. I used to have, back when I was crazy, man, I used to have white suits and off-white suit and this was, I like more white suits. I did with white suit, man. That's just crazy, man. But I done it, man. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, I'm glad you have, because you've done it.
I need to get a white suit.
Well, you got to, man.
I gotta get a couple white suits.
You gotta go all the way out and get you some white shoes, man. You know, they kind of like, who wear white shoes, patent leather? But you gotta do the whole thing. If you gonna go and do it, and I'm in the room.
They gotta do their homework on that. Throw the patent leather shoes on, boy. You better know what you're doing. You better know what you're doing.
Some of these cats now, they going so far that I can't go all the way out. I can't be competing with my wife in the dress code, man. But I just do what I do.
Yeah, two flies OGs on, in my opinion. You and Clyde. Clyde came on.
Clyde.
I always know y'all gonna throw it on when y'all step out. Y'all step.
And the thing about Clyde, he gonna do him. And he make the moves with confidence.
Absolutely. Yep.
Clyde got mad at me one year because we were at Spring Colors, and I just showed up. Sometimes I dress up, sometimes I show up just regular. And he showed up. He was like, "Rah!" He's like, "Yo, I got my suit on." He had this nice suit on that he probably got from Yanni.
Right. That's right.
You know what I mean? And he was like, "Got my suit on. You wearing it?" I'm like, "Yo, this is how I felt today, man." You know, but Clyde likes to get dressed to the T.
Yeah, he like to
do his thing.
represent.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen Clyde without some designer shoes on. Shout out to Clyde. I've never seen him with some designer shoes on.
I don't know, man. I don't know what size you wear, man, but somebody, if you wear my size, I need to go stop by his house. He got so many, you could grab 2 or 3 pairs, he ain't gonna remember, that he had them, you can grab 2 or 3 and run out the door, he ain't gonna miss them, man, and that's my guy, though, man.
That's awesome. So, Herb, I wanted to ask you a question before we get out of here. I think it's, before you, I want you to shout out everything you got coming up too, out of him. But like, if you could give a message to a young person that's aspiring to get on a bit to do business, or aspiring to overcome, or aspiring to uplift themselves and to be and to work hard and to achieve certain things, what can you say to them?
Great question. And I want just to piggyback a little bit to add, the younger you, what would you say? I mean, I'm pretty sure it's pretty similar either way, but.
Well, I think that, one of the biggest things that I have done, man, I read a lot of books and read a lot of books. So even when I was a young guy, I would read a lot, right? Because you couldn't necessarily go out there and talk to somebody who was doing what you wanted to do, right? But you could read some books and figure out some things. And they had to be all, black books. It could be on anybody, because I wanted to be a business person. So I would read a lot on how do these people do this or how do these people do that. And then I would sit down, and this is advice I'm giving to someone, right? Then I would sit down and just see if I could get a few minutes to talk to somebody, right? Who was somebody who I thought, had it together and who I wanted to talk to, right? And it wasn't all about my ideas. It was just like, hey, Mrs. Whatever or Mr. Whomever, can I get a few minutes of your time just to talk to you, right? I volunteered on a lot of things just to be around people, right? So, sometimes you know, and then I realized at early game, and it was just going to take a while for me to get whatever I wanted to get. Right? It wasn't like, moving no quick situation, right? Making quick moves. And so I'd say those are things I read. Now, even today, man, I might go online and read newspapers a lot. And then I just tried to meet with the people and just try to keep working at it and try to figure out what that looked like. And try to be around the people that I thought was, not necessarily in no suck up like position or whatever, some buster like type deal, but just be around people and figure those things out. Right. And so those things have all, worked for me, man. I got people work for me in Washington. Washington taught me a whole lot in life, man. And a large number of people who with me in Washington have been incarcerated. I don't mean like that weekend type of incarcerated. I mean some time, man. And then they put some time, man. When they went in, man, there was no iPhone. Right? Get in, they don't even know what a Uber is, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm talking about some serious time, man. And a lot of those guys, man, have come out, so they went back to started below zero, and have turned their life around the positive way, their own businesses, or working in government and things like that, right? So those people are always a different type of example for me. I said, damn, but they can do that. You know what I'm trying to say? They might have gone in and they was like some big kingpin. They come back out, man. They started out shit, washing dishes. That's a hell of a move, right? And so you're looking at all those type of things. So I always telling people, it's okay. It's okay sometimes just to stop and say, I need help. I'm trying to get somewhere, right? But that doesn't mean the person you're talking to is going to stop right then and there, right? I mean, that's just your emergency, right? But you might just say, and then they might get back to you some point in time, right? And things like that. So I hope I kind of answered that question.
No, it's a great.
You said something very important. The key word you said was you volunteered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because people think when you jump off the porch and take a chance that it's just gonna work.
Right.
But I went to this. It was like a workshop, and I was in Vegas for the NBA, and it's like a bunch. You learn the other side of the game, like it's executives, owners, everything that's on the other side, business wise. Financial, CFOs, CEOs, all that. Right. And Bob Myers, who at the time Golden State Warriors, was Golden State Warriors. And he, the owner, or the GM, and he said, somebody asked him, because it's like 50 or 60 NBA players. And he said, somebody was like, so what's like, we come in and, what's the salary base like? And he was like, if you love someone enough, you'll do it for free for a little bit before you got a bill. You know what I'm saying? And I wrote that down. I was like, okay, now I see how they think. But it makes sense because if you're not playing the NBA, you work for Google, and then are you're this great employee, you leave, and then you come back and say, yo, I want to be CFO. So what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? We ain't just gonna hand you that.
That's right.
You gotta earn your stripes in anything. So that's important. That's the kind of stuff I love to hear from the successful OGs that know what's going on. Because I need to know. I don't care. I'll earn my stripes. My whole career was based off that. Undrafted, all that. So that's inspiring.
And again, like you say, undrafted, man. Sometimes I hear so many of these athletes who did not get drafted, or who fell, below what they thought, and sometimes that's motivating enough for them to get them. So let me try to make this thing work, right? And then so when you think about it, many times we all get to something we thought we deserved something here, and it just you might not get what you thought you deserved, right? But that's just a life thing. They just now what, now what, and so that's kind of how you have to do it.
You either put a chip on your shoulder, or you just start going through the motions. Right. You can't do that.
No doubt. Well, I like to wrap this up, this episode of
I'm going to ask y'all, what made y'all give people this opportunity? Give people this opportunity. So I always, wanted to ask, what makes you all say, well, I want to give other people this opportunity to talk and give people opportunity to hear?
I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory.
Okay.
I'm going to give you one this is a little quick story. I'm not gonna take all night. So me and Rashawn go to this lounge that we hang at. And one day, probably about 4 years ago or something like that, we were outside having a debate.
Okay.
Who had a better catalog, 50 or T.I. This New York guy, I'm from the South. And a tip from Atlanta.
Right.
So we go, and it was just me, him, and maybe a couple other guys. It turned into like 30 or 40 people over there. We just playing music, song for song. So after that, me and him got really, really cool. We was already cool, but we got really, really cool. You know, so like, you know, we up there, we talking, we debating everything. So I had just started my podcast with another guy down in Atlanta in like 2017. So I was like, hey man, you should do a podcast. And I didn't mention me with him. I was like, you should just do it. So it took him like 3 years, and he finally did it. Shout out to L, his cousin, mama love, cousin, brother, everything. So, you know, it was like a lot going on. And L's still part of the squad, of course. So he was like, man, I might need you because I don't know if I could just do this by myself right now. I said, man, that's right up my alley, and we in Charlotte. So I'm like, I'm on deck.
Right,
you know?
ready.
And then, you know, it kind of went from there. Got Mama Love, the greatest ever. Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Shout out to Jersey.
Shout out to Jersey. Yeah, so she keep us in line.
Yeah, she does.
So, that's basically it. And then it's like, you know, once it's gotten some legs now, we ain't running, but we damn sure walking.
Yeah, right.
So we working.
Well, my end is like it's mostly what Ann said. It was just he's the one that kind of pushed me. Vaughn was there. Vaughn wanted to do something,
Vaughn,
and
shout out
Vaughn, and Ann told me I need to do something, and I was in a place at the time, and I just started doing it, and part of my mental health, and I just look forward to it every Monday. And with me, it's like I've met in a short time in Charlotte. I've met a lot of great people in Charlotte. You and a lot of. I just feel like, you know, sometimes it's good to just highlight the people that I feel that have given me a chance, and the people that need to have a chance and to tell their story. You know, from any background, and keep it wide range. And you know, and me and Ann have met a lot of people at our, you know, bar that we go to or whatever. And you know, it's just been real good. And I enjoy it. I really just enjoy meeting people, talking to people, getting their background, having that conversation with them, and everybody has a story that needs to be told.
Right.
And
You know, the crazy thing about people who do this type interviews is, you know, a long time ago you had to wait for somebody, you know, in a network or whatever to give you a chance to say something.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But now, you know, you take precedent what you all doing. So many people, they say, well, I want to talk to this person. I'm gonna do it, right? And the person come on down there and talk, right? And it gives the world a different perspective of so many people, right? Yeah, that's why I said, what made you, you know, you do this, right? Because again, it is. You know, as much as it probably the viewer gets something out of it, I'm sure the person who sits in these chairs gets something, you know, gratifying.
Absolutely.
That makes them think about something. Right?
Yes.
You know, slow them down. So let me think about this.
Right.
Yep.
And it's cool because I genuinely like you said, I was, yo, Fox Sports South, hit me up, ESPN, calling guys, NBA TV, what's up? Like y'all know I can, and it's so political. And I was like, I could just do it.
Right.
You know? So I'm like, I just need the right person. Like Ra, my last homie I did it with, we had great chemistry too. So like, it's just about who you got around you, because we can do what they do. It's the new media era. Like I feel good. I woke up this morning like, yeah, boy, practice going straight over there to record. I can't wait. So like, I love it. I feel good driving here after I leave the gym. But it's like, all right, yeah, we know we're gonna have some good content. A lot of stuff happen,
right?
And it is a form of therapy. And I told Rashawn, it's a form of therapy.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. So, you know, I appreciate it, and I always want to tell you too before we get off air or whatever. I appreciate you. And Mama love you. Like, don't be too long winded. I appreciate it's my cousin, Sean.
Okay. Shout out to the family.
Yeah. Family business.
Yeah.
And Ant's family too. He's a cousin.
Yeah.
I'm the cousin.
Yeah, he's a long lost Moor.
Cutting people.
I want to tell you definitely. I appreciate you being on here today, but I also appreciate the support you've given me over the years, doing Fall and Spring Colors, showing up. When I had my cigar lounge, Herb through a lot of events in my cigar lounge when I had a business, my first business. And I remember the first time you threw it, you had Malcolm in there. Malcolm
Coach
bought
Mac.
Malcolm bought Muggsy, Larry.
Yeah.
We had your boy from the Bulls
Well,
too.
Ron Harper was there.
there.
Yeah, that's right. It was some
It was
Yeah, we had
it
a
was
few
stacked.
events
Yeah.
there, yeah.
And Vernon Maxwell was
That's
there.
right,
And
that's
Vernon
right.
was there.
And Max, my brother.
Yeah. So it's just like, but you've always stayed 100. Always support people. Not only me, a lot of people. And for me, I want to tell you, thank you so much for what you brought to the city of Charlotte.
Thank you, brother.
Yes,
Thank you,
and what you're going to bring to Houston and DC, because they have no idea.
Yeah, well, thank you, brother. I mean, it's just, we can't do it without people, man. And I'm just always blessed that, great people around us, man. And we just try to support and make it work.
Yes.
I'm sitting here with my thermos. Just get people say, "What's it? It's real coffee."
That's right.
What I tell you, let me go get some coffee.
Turn up night. Turn up night tonight.
I told him, I said, man, I need some caffeine. So either espresso martini or real coffee.
Just
and
a hit.
true to my guy, he got me the real coffee. I
That's
said,
the real thing.
I
Now,
wanna say
Sean
thank-
he'll go all out. He gonna take care of you.
Yeah,
He got you.
Thank
We
you,
good.
man.
We got you over here. I want to give my piece before too. You've been knowing me since I was a kid, like I said,
Yep,
and
yep.
It's been inspiring watching you and really getting to be around since I've retired, like being around at actual events. You buttoned up.
Yeah.
That's inspirational, especially for the young. Like you can look at that, like, man, I want to be that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like kids do that to me, but I'm like, I need people to do that for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you definitely one of the guys,
Thank you, brother.
one of the
Thank
OGs, one of the,
Thank
the inspiration. You the standard.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
That's
Thank
what
you.
we strive to be, and appreciate that.
Thank you.
Great knowledge today. We needed
And
that.
thanks, Felicia, for letting us keep Herb up
Yes.
late. We
I said.
appreciate you.
Hey, Mrs.
And thanks,
Gray.
and thanks to little Miss Bailey too.
They're sitting around watching Netflix or something. They don't even know what they're thinking about me right now, man. They're watching that Tyler Perry. So I can't think about that. They're doing something, man. But it's all good. But again, I can't do it without Felicia's support. But not just support, man, but I lean on her for a lot of guidance. So it's
Yes.
all good.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, this is a wrap. Thank you for coming and
Man,
thanks for
y'all,
doing
brother.
this. Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
it,
you,
Frank.
brother.
Y'all
Always
really keep it
appreciate your
real.
power.
Thank you,
Always,
thank you,
my
thank you.
man.
Thank you.
Shout out on scene. It's a wrap.
Yeah.